Right. Good evening to all of you. Can you hear me? Okay. Right. The topic today is role of engineer in society. Engineer, what is the role of engineer in society? Why society and engineer, there's a relationship. Why is that? So I'm going to talk on that and explain how important the role of engineer in society. Let's move on. So I have a question. Let's see what the question is. Do you need a society to live in? Why society is important? Do you need a society to live in? Just ask from yourself. If there is no society, can we live in isolation? Can you live in isolation? Alone, without anybody? Right? That is the first question. The second question is, do we have a role to play in the society? Okay, we got our education in the school, then university, then pass out as engineers. Now we are practicing our engineering. Do we have something to do in the society? That is the main issue, right? So man is a social animal, right? The social animal. Man cannot live in isolation, right? You live in groups. So man needs company of his fellow human beings to share his joy and sorrow. Some animals live in isolation, alone, but some animals don't live in isolation, they live in groups. Similarly, human beings are living in groups. So you need people around you. You need to discuss with them, with your ideas, share your, feelings. That is the human being nature. So let's see what the society is. Society is the most fundamental to sociology. Society sociology. Coming. It is derived from the Latin word socius, which means companionship or friendship. Companionship or friendship. Now, these two words, companionship, friendship, that indicates some relationship. Companionship means sociability, right? You need association. It indicates that man always lives in the company of other people. So that is the basic concept in society. Man needs society for his living, working, and enjoying life. That means anybody, whether you are an engineer or doctor, or lawyer, or mason, or a laborer, you need a society to live in, right? That is the basic concept. So without society, it's nothing. Society definition is this. Society is defined as a group of people who share a common culture, occupy a particular territorial area, and feel themselves to constitute a ununified or unified and distinct entity. It is the mutual interaction and interrelations of individuals and groups. Society has become an essential condition for human life to continue. So you cannot think of human beings without the society. The society is important. Now, then we'll talk about the role of engineers in the society, right? So what I was trying to say is, for human beings, society is an important segment, right? There's another one. A community of people or varied collection of individuals living in a particular country or region and having shared law, culture, customs, relationship, mutual interest, shared institutions. So what I'm trying to say is society is important for human beings. Is it relevant to engineers? Yes, why not? Engineers are part of human beings, right? People, society. Engineers deal with science and technology. We learn science and technology. Socio, Sociological subjects not relevant. Why? We were trained to practice engineering and technology, right? Sociology is not taught to us. That is the issue. That is why we don't know what is the role of engineers in the society, right? So do engineers lack in knowledge of humanities, culture, sociology? These three areas we were not taught in the university or school. Basically, the last 4 years, of course, in our career, in the academic career, we were in the university, but we were not taught of sociology. That is why we don't understand this. We don't see the gravity of it. That is the basic reason. So what is lacking in engineering? Training in humanities, training in culture, training in sociology. It is a curriculum issue, is it? Lack of understanding of the nature. Engineers' role in society is not emphasized. That is the reason. That is why we have no idea of what is our role in the society. But still, when you deal with the social activities, you will come to understand after some time, right? Engineers are human beings. Engineers interact with people. Now you think about engineering activities in the society, whatever you do, you interact with the people. Whether it's transport, electricity, water supply, irrigation, anything you name, right? You deal with the people in the society, right? That is why sociology is important for engineers also. Engineers live in society, we are part of the society. Then that is why it is important. What is the relevance? Engineers have to deal with the society, especially for those who work in the fields, right? If you take a highway project, if you take a water supply project, you do designs in the office, but to practice that, you go to the industry, you go to the field. There you interact with the people, right? Or society. They have to understand society needs. Why? We are doing our designs to support the society, right? People in the society, right? They have to understand society needs, design their work to solve problems of society. Now, take any engineer, maybe a software engineer, maybe uh, any kind of any field, products, output for the people. So that is why it is important. So, but we have not understood it at the early part of our career because it was not taught to us. But later on, you will understand. Engineers with knowledge of sociology would have knowledge of society needs. That would help him to develop a successful career in engineering focusing the society. So senior, when you become senior, of course, you will get that capability and ability to deal with the society. But at the early stages, we don't see it. You take this thing down. Nature of engineering. Engineering is a dynamic profession. Dynamic means changing every time. It is not static. Not a profession of uniform practice. What you practice today is not the thing you practice tomorrow, or maybe years later. Right? That is why it is changing. So engineering should fit into today's world. Now world has developed. There are so many improvements in the system. So every day engineering practice is changing. Engineers' life, they deal with designs, calculations, planning, evaluations, management, supervision. Is this the life of engineers? Is it more than this? Right? All these things we do with our sense of engineering, right? Designs, calculations, planning, then evaluation, management, supervision. What else? These are the processes we undergo in our design, in our engineering career. The products, the services, those are beyond this. That goes to the society, right? Now let's see this diagram. Scientific knowledge, societal needs. What is the relationship? We have society, we have scientific knowledge, then there are societal needs. We cater to the societal needs, right? The common part is engineering. Look at this diagram. Scientific knowledge, creativity, societal needs, analysis. The common part is engineering. So in the common part, you have everything. In that, societal need is a component, right? So engineering itself has the component called societal needs. So let's see the dictionary meaning of these words. Science, the systematic study of structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. That's called organized body of knowledge. Technology, can't see this below part. The application of scientific knowledge for practical purpose. That part is covered. Then you have to put this bar up. Huh? You can put it aside. How do you put it aside? So it's okay, it's okay. The application of scientific knowledge for practical purpose. Knowledge concerned with applied science. These are the two definitions in science and technology. Engineering. Scientist discovers that which exists. They discover what is there, what is already existing. Engineer creates that which never was. creation, right? It's a creation. Now you can see there are a lot of things, new creations coming into the industry day by day, right? New things are coming up, right? So those are the creations of engineers. Engineer is a professional practitioner of engineering, applying scientific knowledge, mathematics, and develop solutions for technical problems. Engineers design materials, structures, and systems while considering the limitations imposed by practicality, safety, and cost. So I have colored these words because these are very important words. In the second bullet, practicality, safety, and cost. So whatever the product we develop, whatever the product engineers develop, will be used by the general public, society. So in that sense, these three words are very important. Practicality, how useful it is, and safety, and the cost, right? You can't have any product at any cost, right? For the people to use it, they need to, it should be within their budget, right? That is why cost is important. I'll come to that later. Right. Engineering is application of science to the common purpose of life. Now I am coming into the real case, right? Engineering is application of science to the common purpose of life. How engineering is used in common purpose of life. Now you see, right, the relationship. Engineering is the art of directing the great sources of power in nature for the use and convenience of the mankind. So engineering is that using resources for the common purpose of mankind. Engineering is the art of organizing and directing men and controlling the forces and materials for the benefit of the human race. Now, all these things will tell you something. What is that? Engineers create various kind of things. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be some form of guidance, benefit for the use of the human being. Right? So we are in the society. While being in the society, we are serving the society. It is seen sometimes, it is not seen sometimes, right? Now let us see this. Engineering is the profession in which the knowledge of mathematical and natural science gained by study, experience, practice is applied with judgment to develop ways to utilize the materials and forces of nature economically for the benefit of the man. That says the story, right? So all engineers everywhere in the world develop products for the use of the people. So in that scenario, you have to be concerned about practicality, safety, cost. Herbert Hoover, US mining engineer and 31st president of US. He says, engineering is a great profession. There is a fascination of watching a figment of the imagination emerge through the aid of science to a plan on paper. Imaginations to the paper, right? Imagination, we imagine, create, comes to the paper. Then it moves to realization in stone or metal or energy. Then it brings jobs and home to men. Then it elevates the standards of living and adds to the comfort of life. This is the engineer's high privilege. So what engineering does to human beings? Elevate the standard of living, right? Elevate the standard of living in all aspects, not in one area, all areas, right? So if you take the mobile phone, you see the development from the day it was invented. It was like a big brick, brick size one. Now it has come to a very handy stuff. The entire world is there inside. So who thought that this will become a facility like this? It's all engineers' creativity, right? So who's an engineer? All this, mathematician, scientist, generalist, manager, technologist, magician, not magician, creator, right? Chartered engineer. Chartered engineers are characterized by their ability to develop appropriate solutions to engineering problems using new or existing technology through innovation, creativity, change. So these are the three key words in engineering: innovation, creativity, change, right? So engineers' role in betterment of society, these are the things: investigation, planning and design, construction, manufacturing, operation and maintenance, continual improvement, research and development, right? These are the things, right? In engineering, these are the main areas you have to develop in creating things. Engineering is everywhere. Look at anywhere. You see some engineering work, right? Look at the computer, engineering. Look at the camera, engineering. Look at the screen, engineering. Look at the door, hinges, all engineering. Lock, engineering. Look at the light, engineering. So it is everywhere, right? Engineering is all around us. So people often take it for granted like air and water. So nobody cares, right? Ask yourself, what do I touch? It is engineered. It is an art, an approximation, measurement, estimation, forecast, and prediction. Engineering is about modeling and simulation. So these are the components in engineering. Communication, technical report writing, presentation. Finance, innovations. Engineering is a creative process. So in all fields, you get some component of engineering. So what are the roles of engineers? So engineers are there in all fields, right? Manager, politician, salesman, entrepreneur, lawyer, academic, expert, scientist. Engineers can play any role in all these fields. So you have to think of engineering basics, whatever the role you play. So let me come to the real point now. Role of an engineer. is more than the calculation, design, planning, supervision. He plays role which on first impression are not linked to their professional training. The training received as an engineer is a part of the reason which an engineer can display his versatility and creativity, right? Responsibility. We live in a complex global and intercultural world with a lot of problems. It is compulsory that engineers should amplify the horizon of their specialized technical knowledge in the field of development within the norms and principles of ethics. So whatever you develop, we talk about earlier, practicality, cost, safety. Now, it has to be within the norms of engineering. Just because you are an engineer, you can't violate the norms and ethics of engineering. So you have a topic on ethics. So you have a set of rules you have to follow. That is why engineers are there, right? Anybody can do anything. But as an engineer, you have to follow the ethics, engineering ethics and rules, right? Because you are an engineer. So what are the responsibilities? Social. How these are the things. As an engineer, you have to follow. Ensure the safety and interest ahead of all other considerations for well-being of the public. Ensure the safety and interest ahead of other considerations. Ensure that society funds and resources concerning the technology are well used. So you can't waste money. You can spend money for unnecessary things. You can't spend money for unproductive things, right? So you have a responsibility. Concerned about the impact of engineering projects on environment and society. So when you are practicing your engineering, you have to be concerned about these things, right? Environment and society, right? Refusing to work on particular project or for a particular company violating above. You have the right as per the ethics. If something is done wrongly, you have to raise your voice or you get out of that, right? Speak, not only get out of that, you have to speak against that. Speaking out publicly against improper projects. That is part of engineer's duty, right? Expose illegal or wrongdoings. Professional society's obligation to provide protection for such people. Now, when you expose illegal and wrongdoings, you will be targeted. These bodies, professional bodies, should protect them. Contributing to one's services to worthy non-profit groups and projects. Contributing one's services to worthy non-profit groups and projects. So we don't expect profit from every activity. There are services. Commitment to educate future engineers about their social responsibilities. As you become senior, you have a duty to train, explain the juniors the social responsibilities and what to do, what not to do. Voluntarily educating the public about important consequences of various technological and scientific developments. So if something is happening, it is your responsibility to explain to them. This is done because of this. right? Make the people aware. This will bring recognition to the profession. So if you follow all this, it has benefits to you. Recognition in society. Now, if you take other professions, medical profession, legal profession, doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? Accountant. The kind of recognition you receive from the society, very much more for doctors, lawyers than engineers. We have no recognition in the society because we don't go into the society and we don't interact with the society. That part is lacking, right? That part is lacking. So when you follow these things and when you interact with the people, you will earn the recognition. Professions have social responsibilities, but engineering is not a profession like medicine and law, and so it does not have the same social responsibility. These are some of the misconceptions, right? Doctors deal with people. They have to go to doctors when they are sick. They are compelled to go. So doctors will get automatic connection with the society, right? So that is why they get the recognition. Engineering is not given the same privileges as other professionals. So there is no social obligation that promotes engineers to social responsibility. We do a lot of things to people, but we don't have interaction. So that is why we don't get the proper recognition. Engineers deal only with objects and facts. The nature of engineering manager relation in large organizations. Engineering does not serve a crucial social need, which is the basis of full social interaction. So social interaction, we don't make use of that for recognition. That is our mistake, right? Let's see these definitions, right? First one says the Code of Ethics, ASC. Engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of public and shall strive to comply with the principles of sustainable development in performance of their professional duties. In the Software Engineering Code of Ethics says, Principle 1.3, approve software not only if they have a well-founded belief that it is a safe, meets specification, passes appropriate test, and does not diminish the quality of life, diminish privacy, or harm the environment. The ultimate effect of the work should be public good. Now, all these ethics, whatever the document you check, the message is you can't destroy, you can't harm, you can't have any threat to the product you develop. So you're making the product for the use of the public, it should be safe. That is the message, right? All these guidelines, ethics, whatever the code, it says that. So another one, engineers shall, in fulfilling their responsibility to the community, protect the safety, health, and welfare of the public, and speak out against abusers in these areas affecting the public interest. Whatever the document, any kind of ethic document you take, you have to protect safeguard the public, contribute professional advice and appropriate to civic, charitable or other non-profit organizations, seek to extend public knowledge and appreciation of the engineering profession and research. All these uh, things, what I want to tell you is that as engineers, we develop various things for the use of the general public, then it cannot harm, it cannot destroy the environment, it cannot harm the public, general public. So that is a norm. This is a modern definition. Engineers will translate into action the dreams of humanity, traditional knowledge and concepts of science to achieve sustainable management of planet through the creative application of technology. There is some definition. Again, it says, whatever you do, it is for the public. Why engineers have the responsibility of interaction of technology and society? Because engineers are the ones who create and implement the technology, should be responsible for their own actions and creations because of their impact of their work and society and the people. So all this time, whatever the situation, you create something for society. Today, the consequences of human creativity in the areas of engineering, technology, and science have reached measures that only few decades ago were unimaginable. Now, the smartphone is one example. Not only that, in any field, there are developments which we did not think some years back. So engineering is so advanced, right? All these creations by engineers, right? That is why there are so many restrictions on, because only engineers create things. I will show you some of the slides later. Every field, engineering is involved. Now you see biotechnology, nanotechnology, genetic engineering, artificial engineering, AI, information technology, all these fields, creators are engineers. Then when you create something for the use of the people, they use it, then you are responsible. You are accountable. Capacity and development means power. Knowledge is power. With power comes responsibility. With power, you do something, then you will get the responsibility. Knowledge implies then responsibility. Obligations of the engineer must be of same degree with the level of his power. Right? You can understand that. Responsibility comes with obligation and accountability. So what are the achievements in the field of engineering in 20th century? You see these areas: nuclear technology, electronics, laser and fiber optics, space exploration, electrification, aeronautics, petroleum and gas technology, agricultural mechanization, imaging technology, health technology, training, research and development. So all these areas, engineers are involved. Training, research and development is a vital area in the industry where you develop things, you test things. So engineers impact on society through, so these are the areas you can influence. Infrastructure development, power and energy, environment, poverty alleviation, food production, natural disasters, research and development, education and training, health sector, recovery, discovery, recovery. So I will show you some of the slides later on in all these areas. So engineering is involved in this. Infrastructure. You can see all physical developments in a city, right? Now, if you take China, it's a well-developed country. You take USA, well-developed country, Germany, well-developed country, but still development is happening. It will not stop, right? Infrastructure development in any countries is a continual process. No stop to that, right? So all that is engineering. Now you will see every day you will get some in your social media. There are a lot of development works happening around the world is shared, right? Everywhere it's same. Power and energy is now a hot topic in Sri Lanka, right? Wind or solar or hydro or whatever, nuclear, everywhere is engineering. Preserve environment. Now all this development should protect the environment. And animals, birds, you have to protect them. Flora and fauna. Poverty. You need engineering solutions, right? What are the solutions? Improve the productivity. That is the engineering solution, right? You do research and improve things, improve production. That is engineering, right? So poverty alleviation is a part of engineer's job. Now I want to show you this picture. This is a very famous picture. I don't know, you would have seen this. This picture was taken by the photographer named Kevin Carter in Sudan. Now the story is they were starving. These people, children were starving. There was a World Bank or some aid agencies distributing food. Now this child is scrolling, cannot walk also, scrolling to the food distribution place. You see the bird behind, who's called vulture, is a big bird, is following the child. When the child is dead, this fellow is going to eat. So Kevin Carter took this picture and it was produced to a exhibition. He won the first prize. Title was Feminine in Sudan 1993. Right? He won the first prize. After a few weeks, he committed suicide. Right? Why he committed suicide, still not known. But people are blaming him. People are blaming him. Why you are so interested in taking the photograph, not to save the child. That was the thing that hit him in the mind, and he committed suicide. You know how he committed suicide? He went to the garage, closed the door, started the car. So this car, when car was running, it emitted carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. He inhaled that. That is how he died. Right? So poverty alleviation is part of engineering. Right? So this is the area we have not, we have not thought of, right? Food production, farm mechanization, all engineering stuff, right? Disasters. There are so many disasters happening these days. Nowadays it's very hot, right? Terrible heat. We expect we had terrible rain, right? So you have to, handle it. You have to tackle this. Solutions are in the field of engineering. Research and development is happening every day, everywhere. And products are engineering stuff. Education and training. So education and training, you develop methods. Now, if you take the smart board, engineering, right? So now when you are going home also, you come across various engineering products, right? Health, no need to explain, all engineering, right? Now, there are systems now without opening up to investigate or see any part of your body. You can take it onto a screen. All that is engineering, right? CT scan, what are the type of scans you have? Then medicine. Without opening your body, you can do any operation inside. Cutting, pulling, taking out anything. All that is engineering, right? Doctors are using engineered products for that, right? Discovery. So new things. Now what I want to show you is now say some of the creations. Here this side you have this. This is a rotating tower in Dubai. The tower is rotating, right? This is another version of it. And this is a world expensive hotel in Dubai, Burj Al Arab. You know, this is a structural fabric. This is manufactured in Sri Lanka. You know that? The structural fabric is manufactured in Sri Lanka. This is the largest aircraft in the world. Airbus A380 can carry 600 people. So all these are all new creations. There are more, but some of them, right? Recovery. Now, when a disaster happens, the people first go there are engineers, right? Now, these pictures after the tsunami down south, how this railway line got affected, right? It got damaged entirely. So it happened on 26 December. I was able to go there and see these things. These are the pictures I have taken. Maybe 2 days after that, right? This is this one. Maybe a picture taken later. Yeah, yeah. This was taken later. So this was actually within 4 months we were able to. I was working for CCB. Then that time we were able to put the railway track back into normal this thing within 4 months. We were the consultants. Our SD and CC were the contractor. So what are the challenges for the next generation? Energy scenario, secure cyberspace, green technology, ecosystem balance, water availability, energy efficiency, global warming, waste management. These are the challenges, you come across even now and even in the future, because when you develop certain things, there are bad sides also, right? Always it is not good or everything is not good. So you have some residual things that you have to handle, manage. Most important, engineers' contribution at the primary decision-making process is very vital, because when something is formalized, created, discussed before implementation, engineers' input is vitally important. So we'll have to think about that. Now, I want to show you some interesting thing. This is a Q drum. Now, Q drum is a special device to carry water. Now, these children are carrying water on head. This is not in Sri Lanka, but in some other country. But in Sri Lanka also this is happening. In distant places where you don't have water in the close proximity, you go miles and carry water, right? This is very bad for the child development, because he is carrying a heavy load on the head. That is not good. So one intelligent person developed something like this. It's a barrel. You don't have to carry on your head. You can roll it. That is called Q drum, right? So this is the alternative, right? It's a barrel. You can roll it. You have to especially make it with a hole in the middle, right? So this may use in other countries. So it is an engineering product. Very simple, but useful, right? I get you. Alternative? Creativity. This is a creative thing, yes. This is a creativity. This is a creative. Right. Engineers should be good communicators. That part is missing in engineers. That is why we get less recognition from the society. We don't talk. Do you? You talk, but that is not enough. Mahatma Gandhi says there are two types of people in this world. One category work hard, the other category get credit from the others' work. My father advised me to be in the first category because there is no fight among the working category. Fight is within the category who does not work but try to get the credit. So always be in the working category. So these are the points to think about. let's say politicians and engineers. Politicians are with the society, right? They do engineering also, right? Why? Our engineers are not so close with the society, right? Engineers are reluctant to work with the politicians. That is another issue, right? You have to come out and, convince the decision makers about your idea. That part is also lacking to some extent. So it needs a change, right? So you have to earn your position. So I have a few questions. How many in your neighborhood know that you are an engineer? Even sometimes the next door person doesn't know you are an engineer. That's it, right? So I'm giving you some questions, right? How many, what is the noise? Right. How many times you have given engineering advice to others in your neighborhood? If somebody is putting up a house, if somebody is doing a canal, if somebody is doing a road, have you come forward and to give your engineering knowledge or advice? Right? Then people don't know, then you have to wear a shirt, t-shirt, saying that I'm an engineer. Otherwise, you have to have a board in front of I'm an engineer. But you go to a junction and ask about Doctor, where is Dr. Silva? Ah, yes, he's there. Go straight, first house on the right hand side. You go to the junction and ask from a three-wheel driver, where is this lawyer? Ah, he's there down there. Go to the junction and ask, where is this engineer? Nobody knows. That is the part we are missing in our system, right? How many in your organization know that you are an engineer? You have divisions in your company, within your unit, of course, they all will know. But if you go to some other section, they know accountants, finance manager, administrative officer, but not you, right? You have not earned your recognition. If ordinary person wants to buy a solar system, from whom they get advice, engineer or shop owner? People go to the hardware shop and ask about what is the best cement, what is the best steel, what is the best paint. Why is that? Something is missing, right? Somewhere. So if I go to a hardware shop, if somebody is coming and asking something from the hardware man, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. He's a seller only. I used to tell him. I voluntarily used to tell him. So that way you have to, come out of this shell. If there's a roof, if there's a water leak in your road, you just pass up and down several times, but do you complain to the water board? We don't. If a politician goes on that road, if he notice that one, he will inform water board. So that is the difference. That is why we don't get the recognition from the society. Right? So these are things for you to think about. What is the social activity you got involved in last 3 months? You may be providing indirect services, but direct service to society bring you recognition. So if something is happening in my vicinity, I always, if it's something to do with engineering, I always give advice. Few years back, they did the road in front of my house. It was done by the municipal council, and they were following a wrong method. You lay certain thickness of ABC. There's a minimum thickness depending on size of the aggregates. So you can't put less than that. So they were laying that less than that. So I said, this is the minimum thickness. You have to lay that. So they refused to do that. Then I called their head, said, I'm a highway engineer. I'm telling you this wrong method you're following. If you don't do this, I will complain. Then they followed the method. So that way, of course, you have to come out with your ability to handle things in the society, right? In how many projects engineers are recognized at opening ceremonies? People work hard, and at the opening ceremony, who dominates? Why is that? So we don't have link. We don't have. I don't say that you have to go and meet politicians and have a rapport with them. But whenever you get the opportunity to meet them, you show that you are an engineer. I'm handling this project, kind of thing. You have to express. Now, I have handled certain projects with politicians. When they propose certain things, I analyze and tell them, if you do it this way, this will happen. If you do it this way, this will happen. Majority can understand. The point is, we don't explain. When you go for meeting, lectures, where do you sit? Majority in the back. So I have done so many lectures at Vimala Surendra Auditorium. You see, front seats are empty. You have to go and sit like you sit here. Go and sit in the front seats. Take the leadership. How many meetings, lectures you have opened your mouth to speak? We are listeners. Express your view. Whether it's right or wrong, it is different. You express your view. When speaker calls somebody from audience, how many times you have come forward? We are reluctant, right? Something happens on the street, have you come forward for any assistance? So this area we have to think of. I don't say you have to follow all the things, but you think about that, right? Think about next time when you come across this kind of situation, you think about it. What are the ISL activities you have got involved in last six months? So there are so many activities organized by ISL. There are so many. I will give you the list. Contribute to others' work. Share your knowledge with others. Always, as engineers, we must promote our juniors. We must support or encourage our other staff to, get up or come up in their profession, to get more qualifications. That is part of our duty, right? make the society feel that you are wanted. So when you do that kind of thing only, they feel you are a wanted person. Abdul Kalam says, I am not handsome guy, but I can give my hand to someone who needs help. Beauty is in heart, not in face. Social work. Who is going to invite you? Is there anybody going to invite you for social work? I don't think so. I don't think so. You have to initiate yourself, right? Get involved in social activities on your own. Nobody is going to invite you. So what are the activities organized by IESL? There are 7 sectional committees. You can take part in these committees and get to know people, network, public and memorial lectures. We have educational programs, technical and field visits, competitions, Engineers Excellence Award competition, where you can, submit your application if you are an excellent person. Techno exhibition is an annual event where you have a lot of exposure to various things. Building clinic. Building clinic is a project initiated by Civil Engineering Sectional Committee when I was the president, when I was the chairman of Civil Engineering Sectional Committee that time. So that helps the people with technical advice, those who are putting up their own houses. This is a very successful event. We had a lot of responses all over the country. We did this program, started at Techno exhibition, then we spread it to all parts of the country. We did various places around the country. So we received a lot of responses. It's a very good CSR project. Then we have New Year and Christmas festivals, celebrations. You have to take part in these activities so that you will give the message that you are an engineer, you are a exposed person, right? Music engineers, have you heard about music engineers? We have a music group. Music group, we play at Techno exhibition at BMSH. So these are the things, these are the areas you can, get involved in IESL. Your career development. You have 3 lives: professional life, personal life, social life. You are very good in your professional life. You are very good in your personal life, very poor in your social life. So that is the main area you have to develop. That is the area you have to develop to get recognition, right? Professional life, personal life, you have already developed to some extent, but social life, you think about developing. What is success? Right decisions. How do you take right decisions? Experience. How do you get experience? Wrong decisions. Falling down is not defeat. Defeat is when you refuse to get up. That is the defeat. So be a can person and not can't person. That is up to you. Develop positive mindset. Think this way. If one can do it, I can do it. If no one can do it, I must do it. Don't be like this. If one can do it, let him do it. If no one can do it, how can I do it? Right? Now, when you listen to radio or TV news. You every day see these kind of stories, news. Some people in some village say no drinking water. Some people say we don't have electricity supply. Some say no bridge to cross the stream. We are hanging on ropes and crossing the river. No facilities in hospitals, right? Roof is falling, uh, no, water, kind of various things, pipe water, poor roads or no roads to places. School children say we have no road to go to the school. School building needs repair. Some parts is in very, very bad shape. Transport service not available to certain villages and places. And during the COVID period, of course, a lot of people were depending on the mobile signals. Even the classes were conducted online. So there were no coverage in certain places. People have to climb reefs, go up on water tanks, and go to hills. So now, when you think of these issues, who are responsible? Drinking water, who's supplying drinking water? So who is planning the projects? Engineers. Now, all these issues, if you take one by one, responsible person is at the end engineer. So when you see these kind of news in television or newspaper, wherever, engineers responsible in these particular areas should come forward. There you get the recognition. Do we come? We don't. Then who comes into this picture? Whenever they see this kind of shortcoming, who speak up? Politicians. That is the way you think, no? They are not superior to us. Thing is, politicians immediately emerge, take this issue and talk to the engineer and say, go and see this. Why can't we take the initiative? So that is the point you have to think of, right? Who's responsible? Ministries, provincial authorities, divisional secretaries, Grama Sevaka, only engineering bodies, right? So if you can tackle these things in that way, we can have more control over the system. We don't do that, right? So when you become senior, you think of that. I have another quote. If you salute your duty, you need not salute anybody. But if you pollute your duty, you have to salute everybody. So be an engineer of great value to the profession, family, and society. So third point is the most important things, right? So when you develop that, you will become a known, recognized engineer. Now, in the history, the most recognized, respected, great engineer was Dr. Kulising. He's a creator. When something happens, he goes to the site, talks to the people. That is, you ask from, senior non-professionals, even they know Dr. Kulising. So one of the greatest persons I have ever, I had the opportunity to meet him. 3R in career life. Respect for yourself, respect for others, responsibility of all your actions. Your duty should be engineer as technical leader, engineer as manager, The first two things, of course, you are doing. But engineer as a social leader, part is missing. So we have been discussing about this. Now, why sociology is important, why society is important, why engineers is important, how engineers should interact with the society, why it is so, why it is important, and how you have to improve your lagging areas. My final remark is this. These things may be useful for you for your future as well. You have to improve your language skills, all engineers. You must be able to take responsibilities of your work and get all-round experience, not only in engineering, all related areas. If you are working in an office, maybe you do some design work in the design office, but still there are other activities. You get to know all this because when you become senior, you have to handle all this, right? So make use of the opportunity. Do work with dedication and commitment. So engineers don't have working hours. You have to remember that, right? It can be midnight or it can be early in the morning. Depending on the requirement, you have to work. Share your knowledge. Always you must help others, teach others, give your knowledge to others, get involved in knowledge sharing sessions, and try to improve others and also to bring their level up. That is part of engineer's duty, right? You have to enjoy what you do. Otherwise, it will not be fruitful. Be a chartered engineer within minimum possible time. Now, now I've been just before the lecture, because I was at a PR panel, and there are people, coming for PR interviews after so many years. They were eligible after 4 years, but they come after maybe 15 years, 20 years. So that will, during that period, you will miss a lot of things. So be a chartered engineer within minimum possible time. And the B paper, you can sit after 1 year of graduation, right? So make use of that opportunity and serve the society and your country. So that should be the motto. So with that, I would like to conclude my lecture. So we have been talking about how important is engineers to the society, how important, and why they are important, and how do you get the recognition, why you should get the recognition, and how you serve the society. Then those are things, main things you have to think of, right? With that, I will conclude my presentation and wish you all good luck. And if you have anything to clarify, I can give few minutes for you to ask any questions. If you have, let's see the chat box. No, I don't have anything on the chat box. If you have anything, you can ask now. If you need any clarification on anything. Otherwise, we can close the session. You have anything? We have two engineers in the hall. We have 22 online. Okay, then we'll close the session. Thank you very much for your participation. Hope you have gathered something out of this presentation, and the PDF copy will be available to you, and wish you good luck. Good night.